Have you noticed that everyone seems to have more money to spend than you? That it was easier for them to buy a house or a car or eat at a restaurant? How is that possible, and don't they understand how hard it is for you? I've thought these things myself, and even more when I landed the management job that I had wanted for several years. Many of the other managers had big 6-bedroom homes in pristine neighborhoods and new cars, took extravagant vacations, and ate out often. It was my expectation that I would live this lifestyle when I was in their position, but when I finally got to it, however, the salary hadn't changed in those years, but the price of homes and cars and food had. Suddenly, that job for me only supported a small home, an old car, and a tight food budget. I realized something from this, though. Nobody cared that it was difficult for me, and I had not considered that it would be still more difficult for everyone else that came after me than it was for me. But not only did they not care that it was different for me, they didn't care that I had less, but in a good way. People don't really care what you have, they only care about who you are. So I stopped caring about what I couldn't change and thought about what I could. It's easy to get sucked into the mindset of things are difficult for me that prevents you from accomplishing better things for yourself. How can you change that? And how could I change that? The greatest thing I can influence is what I decide to do in certain circumstances. Could I handle my finances better, my time better? Could I find ways to be happier independent of my circumstances? Last month I took an Uber to the LAX airport and had a conversation with my driver who had moved to the United States from Ethiopia. She spoke about her experience coming to the States, speaking no English and having no support. It would have been easy to give up and go home, but she stuck through it for nothing more than the opportunity for her son to have a chance to be more than he could have been there in Ethiopia. While I have been stewing over a smaller house and an older car, she felt deep gratitude for a small apartment with running water and temperature controls, unlimited work opportunity, and a great education for her son. What I learned from all of this is we can choose to focus on bettering ourselves and improving our situation, and that will truly elevate our financial position too. Like my driver that began to drive professionally on roads she didn't understand the signs or the language to, we can seek learning constantly. Money is paid in exchange for goods, services, or time, which means that if you make yourself more valuable, people will eagerly pay for that value. They don't care what you have.